Meow 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 the high score. All right, I'm done with that. Sorry to put you all through that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very special edition of the High Score, broadcasting live from Casa de Gertz. I am joined today by no one. This is me, myself, and I. How y'all doing? As I'm sure you're all aware, the rest of the crew is in Seattle right now, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of something. I know you've come to expect some entertainment on your Friday nights, so I wanted to do my best to, supply that to you. I'm going to try to keep this show fairly structured in the same way as the typical shows we do. I'm going to cover some news stories, address some questions from you guys. Some of you guys did send questions, which is great, but keep sending them on in, please do. Eventually, I think, unfortunately, I won't really be able to play a game on the stream for you guys, but what I plan on doing once the show is done is I'm going to hop on the PlayStation 4 on PS4 and I'm going to start a party. I'm going to start a party, hangout, whatever you want to call it on there. We can all get in the same chat room together, shoot the shizzle, and play some video games. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me very much. And I think we're about ready to get started. Seeing that this likely won't be posted on doubletoasted.com because of that Google logo. It's not there right now, but it will be later. We might not be able to post this in its video format, but if this show turns out to be not a complete bust, maybe we can put it on SoundCloud. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm looking at you, Nick. Put this on SoundCloud if it doesn't suck. If it sucks, then we'll just burn it and bury it and forget this ever happened. So I think with that out of the way, let's get into some video game news. Let me make sure I can capture you guys though on the chat-a-tat-tat screen. Let me see. You can pull up the screen share. There you guys are. So you guys can see yourselves in all your glory right there. Excellent. Let me see. Let me know if I'm not coming in clearly or anything like that, folks. I want to make sure you guys get the bang for your buck. All none of that buck that you're paying for this episode. But enough of that. Let's get started with the news. Now, this is probably the biggest announcement, video game related this week. It involves a certain company that we all hold near and dear to our hearts. They saved the video game industry, and now they just seem to be pretty good at ticking people off. And that company is, I'm afraid, none other than our good friends at Nintendo. Now, Nintendo released some good news and some bad news today, or not today, earlier this week. The good news is the Nintendo NX is coming out on March 17th. Everyone's losing their mind, pulling a Kermit. Everyone is super happy about this. I personally am looking forward to it. I love Nintendo. I think they're great. When Nintendo's great, they're really great. When they're not great, we don't want to talk about that. Let's keep the positivity up, shall we? They're releasing the new Nintendo NX March 17th. They finally have a date for this bad boy. But then starts the bad news a little bit. Unfortunately, they're not going to be showcasing this thing at E3, which is kind of a bummer. But they do have a new Zelda game for it coming out. Zelda's coming out. We got Zelda coming out for the NX. Yep, and it's the same exact Zelda game you've been waiting for on Wii U because Nintendo is doing a simultaneous release with this thing. They're going to be releasing this thing on Wii U and Nintendo NX sometime in 2017. Wait. I thought Zelda on the Wii U was supposed to be coming out in 2016. So did I! Everyone thought that, and everyone was right, but you're not right anymore. Nintendo has come in and rewritten reality. Wrong. That thing is coming out in 2017, and you're going to like it. You're going to play it, and you're going to like it after you wait over a year to get your hands on it. Which is, honestly, truth be told, I think this is both probably like a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bummer for you guys that have been waiting for a new Zelda game for your Wii U. In fact, I know a good number of people that purchased a Wii U so they could get Zelda. You're still going to get it. It's not like they've canceled that game, but if this is the only reason you bought a Wii U, or one of the main reasons you bought a Wii U, can't help but feel a little ripped off. I didn't even get a Wii U, and I feel kind of ripped off by this news. But the silver lining here, I suppose, is that as a launch title for the NX, this could possibly be a big system seller for Nintendo. Nintendo, speaking to selling systems, also released their revenue over the past year. And unfortunately for them, it hasn't been great. I'm seeing if I can try to find the exact numbers on this article real quick here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, they released their financial results. Let me pull up the article real quick if it will load. Oh geez, that's like that's like a spreadsheet. Either way, let's cut the crap. They weren't as fiscally successful as they've been in the past. The Wii was a huge deal for them. It was a very successful system. The Wii U, I believe it might be the least successful of all of their home consoles, which is a bummer, which is a real bummer. Again, I love Nintendo. When they get it right, they get it really right. I mean, you're hard pressed to find a 3D platformer as good as Super Mario Galaxy. You're hard pressed to find a first-person adventure game as good as Metroid Prime. But when they get it wrong, like when they get it Virtual Boy wrong, it's like, and I'm worried. Well, not even worried, because I think it is going to go down in history this way. The Wii U is kind of going to go down as a bit of a quagmire. It's not really a big hit in any way, shape, or form. So hopefully things will start looking better for Nintendo soon once they release this new console. Now, one thing I'm going to do for you guys, I know you don't want to just listen to me. You don't want to listen to my opinions and thoughts on this matter. So I'm going to try to get some of the Midnight Chat-A-Tat regulars in here. The Midnight Chat-A-Tat, what's that you say? Well, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know what the Midnight Chat-A-Tat is. I'm going to send some of these guys the link, and I'm sure they could tell you all about it in addition to giving their own opinions on the matter. Anthony, Nick, I'm looking at you guys. Get your butts in here, if you would, please. I can only kill but so much time, folks. Come on, get in here. Let me see if there's any other developments going on with this thing. Not really. Oh, also, sorry, I forgot to mention this. This does pertain to Zelda.
Oh, shit.
Oh!
Oh, shit. I thought you was going to do this shit by yourself. I didn't even know.
Oh, no. You are welcome. All are welcome.
Oh,
get your butt in here.
Hold on, I got to turn on my light.
Broadcasting from the dark.
Okay. Well, damn. I was supposed to be my damn off day, Grits. What you doing?
Get your butt to work, man.
Right. No, it's kind of a delay, but what was you talking about, man?
Oh, I was just talking about the Zelda game being delayed on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And how there might be a silver lining there in that by doing a simultaneous release with this on the Wii U and on the new NX, it could very well become a system seller for the NX, which would be good news for Nintendo. They need to sell home consoles. Handheld wise, they're still doing well. But
yeah, the 3DS is making game bust. The only bad thing about this now is that they're pushing Zelda Wii U back. They don't have any big titles this holiday season, like for Black Friday or anything to really push the Wii U sales over this holiday season, which is bad. Yeah, and actually, you kind of reminded me of another point I wanted to touch on. So thank you. This kind of not necessarily confirms, but reaffirms the notion that they're going to try to pull back on the Wii U development a little bit. I remember that rumor that came out a few months ago that they're going to stop production on this thing, and they're like, no, we are going to keep production going strong after we delay this really big title. Exactly. And I don't even think Star Fox worked as big as they wanted it to.
Man, we're going to be playing that game next week, and as soon as I heard about those controls, I was like, why? Why would you do that? You took the one thing that everyone is saying, like, this is the worst part about your system, and they have this whole game, this game that people have been looking forward to for years, and it features this exclusively. Yep.
Yeah.
And we are joined by Mr. Frumpy Face himself, Mr. Frumpy Faced Avatar.
That's my new name. Hashtag Frumpy Face.
Just mean mugging.
Yeah, I'm mad about Nintendo fucking up, man.
Do you have any thoughts on this Zelda delay, Nick?
Dude, the thing is, it's kind of amazing how they're so like just backwards. Like, I mean, I know like they have some cool shit coming out. I mean, I remember when Nintendo U or Wii U came out, like it was like Zombie U, like that was like the big thing they were pushing, and golf and shit. And it's like everyone was still like loving Skyward Sword, like, you know what I mean, even though it came out like in what, 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't you just jump on that bandwagon? Like, dude, fans know this shit. How do the people at Nintendo don't know this shit?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of no, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Oh no, after you, man.
No, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, the controls, and somebody in the chat too, I think they played on Star Fox Wii U. They said it's very disheartening, beyond heartbreaking. Like, it's no multiplayer options. They said the only really good thing about it is, like they said, it's basically just a repeat of Star Fox 64, and it's like no multiplayer in that game whatsoever. It's just like they kind of dropped the ball.
You're describing it as heartbreaking, just like someone just like in mourning over this game.
Hey, some people was looking for it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer if you've been looking, and also like, I've been looking forward to a new Star Fox game. Like, emphasis on new. I have Star Fox 64. I already have a remake of Star Fox 64 on my 3DS. I do not need a third remake of this game. I love Star Fox 64. It might be my favorite N64 game, but come on. This is a game that you've been keeping people on the line for years, and you have the temerity to release a remake?
Ooh, temerity. Yeah. Thank you for that big fucking word. I'm going to use it for shit eventually.
Jesus. Let me write that down.
Yeah, exactly. No, but here's one thing, though. I don't want to be on the the side of this for a second, is because Nintendo doesn't usually do that. You know what I mean? Like Sony, Xbox, they have HD remasters like a motherfucker, man. Like, just too much.
Yeah, that's true. And Nintendo just kind of entered in the HD game with the Wii U, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like,
I've heard a lot of good things about the add-on Star Fox Guard. I believe that's what they call it. I heard a lot of good things about that game, but they said the replay value of it is like meh. It's like in the middle. So
yeah, that's a bummer. Nintendo, get your butts in gear. Come on.
Get your
booties.
But Nintendo, they might actually already be doing that, guys. They might already be doing
that. Oh, shit. What they doing, Chris?
I smell a segue.
That's right. We got a segue because Nintendo, a new piece of content was leaked. Someone busted in there, and they're like, "Oh, we're showing this to the masses. That new Pokemon Go."
Yeah.
Look at this. This is that new
fuck. There is barely anything shown.
I know. There it is. Okay, so this is the new. This is the beta footage for Nintendo's Pokemon mobile game called Pokemon Go. Now this is beta, so I'm still not entirely sure how this works. But it looks pretty cool so far. I will say,
was walking to a pole.
Yeah.
Before he got, he was like, "I got a bang!"
That man, there are gonna be so many people getting like hit by cars because of this game. Walking out into sidewalks, like,
hey, they're gonna be running over in the street. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm trying to catch an Oddish.
I'm trying to catch a Gyarados.
Get out of my way. Now, there is a point in this leaked footage. Let me see if I can find it. Where this dude, he stumbles upon a Vulpix, and he's just like trying to like, he just keeps missing with these Pokeballs.
Oh man!
I'm not sure how this works. That's 2. Let's see. Attempt number 3. Okay, he got it.
We
can't like just run up to it and like shove it up its ass. Like, just take the fucking ball.
Take the fucking Pokeball. Wow. I tell you what. That footage, the leaked footage, look a lot better than it did at South by Southwest. This could just be a mental thing, but it looks a lot better.
I agree. It does look a lot better. And they still don't have a concrete release date for this. They are still saying it's going to be sometime later this year in 2016. So who knows how much different it will look when it is finally released. But yeah, I do think this looks a lot more promising. Because when I saw that South by Southwest footage, I was like, whatever.
It didn't look so good. A lot of people. No, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
Well, how much do we know about the gameplay? I mean, is it going to be like Pokemon Leaf Green or whatever the fuck, where you can fight people or whatever, or?
I hope so. It looked like there was some footage in here where it looked like there was some players like interacting with each other. Like here's like some footage of like a Pokemon battle going on right here.
Yeah. It looks like a watered down version of X and Y, like the battle system and stuff like that. And I guess that makes sense because it's mobile, but it just looks very simplistic.
Sorry, let me see. I'm not sharing the screen with the people. Let me share this real quick. Let me go back to that battle sequence. I kind of agree. Yeah, it does look way simpler than X and Y, and that's another concern I guess I have with it because there's just so little we do know about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tossing aside pride right now. When it comes to these Pokemon games, I'm a huge nerd. Like I'm like super into these. Like I use IVs and EVs, like effort values, individual values. I breed Pokemon like crazy, and when I don't get the one I want, I throw it into the wild. I talk about like natures and breeding them for special moves and stuff.
Speaking about the Pokemon environment.
Yeah, I take this very seriously. So I am curious to see how deep this game will actually be, because Pokemon, the handheld games, they're deceptively deep.
Very much so.
Well, Whiskey Wolf in the chat, he said something about a few minutes ago, and I think it was about what I said, like how Nintendo doesn't do too many, HD remakes. But I think this applies to this conversation because he says, Nintendo do this all the time. They just keep remaking the same games over and over. Mm-hmm. And I have the feeling like this Pokemon game, whether or not it's amazing and it has a great like action, whatever the fuck, it's the same old shit. We just played this with X and Y, and what's that game that just came out earlier?
Omega Sapphire? No.
Yeah, it was Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were the first ones.
Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things. Like I know this is something cool and you can do it with your phones, but I mean we just had this, so it's like, is that really that great, or are we just excited because our imaginations is just too fucking wild and
Yeah, I think what this definitely has going for it, I think the reason why people are so interested in it is not because of like the battle system that they're showing here, because you're right, this looks like a watered down version of X and Y. I think what people are looking forward to is seeing like Pokemon in the real world. Like this is like the Who Framed Roger Rabbit of Pokemon.
Exactly.
The animated critters in the real world, and that is pretty cool. Just looking at that.
But just imagine walking behind like a really good-looking couple, like some girl with a huge ass, like a big black dude, and you're behind them, and you see a full picture, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it, and the guy's like, hey, take a picture of my girl's ass.
Exactly.
Girl, don't move. There's a ball right on.
Right there, like you in the middle of dinner, you just pull out your cell phone and you knock over the table. Oh shit, it's a Mewtwo.
The dude turns around, he's Onyx, like, oh fuck.
Just right in the middle of dinner. Oh wow. So, yeah, but if this isn't the Pokemon experience that Pokemon fans are looking forward to, because this is the year of the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, which means we still have Pokemon Sun and Moon coming up in the following months. I think the holiday season, so hopefully that can change up the formula, as Nick was saying.
Yeah, we'll see. Do they have a release date set for Sun and Moon? Do they have a
tentative? Oh no. I think they just said no. Like most people just predict this holiday season around the black market, which makes sense because, like I said, Wii U doesn't have no big title this holiday season.
True.
So for Game Freak to just take that spot, I did hear. I don't know if this is true, but I did hear that they copyrighted the names of the mascots for Sun and Moon. Yeah. So
what were they? Do you remember?
I have no idea. I can't even remember right now at the moment.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted. But I know Game Explain, it's a Nintendo channel on YouTube, had talked about it. So yeah, they copyrighted it. So that means they probably looking for a holiday release.
Well, do you think there's a slight chance that we might have another like boom in the Pokemon universe where everyone's fucking talking about it constantly and all the kids are obsessed, or?
It's funny. Like I can only speak from my personal experience. I was really into Pokemon as a kid. Got Red and Pokemon Red was my first one, and then I got both Gold and Silver. and I kept getting them, and then I kind of fell off a little bit with them with the ones on Game Boy Advance. I think at that point I was like, I still like them, but I'm not as into them as I used to be. And then all of a sudden I got really back into them again, and it felt like there were a lot of people, like, because this was around when I was starting college.
Mhm.
I felt like there were a lot of people that were also starting to get back into it, and it could have just been because back when I was in high school, we all wanted to look cool.
Yeah.
Pokemon, we don't play that anymore. Man, that garbage is for kids. It's for children.
We on that Yu-Gi-Oh shit.
Yeah. Shadow Realm. Talk to the hand. That's real adult entertainment. I don't play Pokemon. No, I watch Dragon Ball Z like a man. But then we got into college, and it's like, oh, no one cares about, like, it seems like a less judgmental space, honestly. So maybe that had something to do with it. But either way, I got back into it again, and now I'm still into it. Like, I put more hours into X and Y than I have in any other Pokemon game to date. So we'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to I'm looking more forward to Sun and Moon than I am to Pokemon Go.
I'm looking forward to anything Pokemon based because there's so much freedom in that game where you can really make something out of nothing. Like it's like GTA almost for me, like just for kids. You know what I mean? Like there's so much freedom in something. You can turn something that's not that interesting, just make it fucking awesome. So I can't wait. I want to see what happens.
And how do I pronounce this guy's name? Hovig, I think that's Hovig. He mentioned that they do have a tentative release date, and it's what you said it would be, Anthony, Q4 of 2016, so holiday season this year.
It makes business sense, like I said.
Totally.
Wii U doesn't have a holiday title for Black Friday. Put Pokemon there. I mean, sales are just gonna come through the roof.
Yeah, no Pokemon game will ever bomb, ever.
Never. It just won't happen. Oh yeah, and not to forget about Detective Pikachu. I can't remember when that drops.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck, man?
That game just looks strange. Like
because why not, Nick? Because why not?
It's like this looks odd, man.
It does really weird.
It's like Pikachu meets the Great Mouse Detective or something.
Or like Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Man, I really hope that they get, because it's been a rumor, but he doesn't know what Pokemon is because he sent out a tweet. It was like, I don't know what Pokemon is because people wanted Danny DeVito to do the voice for Detective Pikachu.
I saw that. I would buy that game immediately.
Right.
Danny DeVito doing that. Or they got Danny DeVito or Gilbert Gottfried to be the voice of Pikachu.
Jesus
I'm on the
Christ.
case. I would buy it immediately.
That would be amazing. Oh my god.
No, honestly, though, think about this. Like, realistically, who can do Pikachu's voice? Like, I'm trying to think of like female actresses who do voice acting. Like, you can't have something too cute or too sexy. You can't have like a male doing it because it's a fucking little cute mouse. So it's like, that's a hard one, man.
I don't want Pikachu sounding sexy, period, for starters.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't have like Scarlett Johansson do it.
I do not want her coming in as the voice of Pikachu.
Grit, stop lying. You want to fuck a Pikachu, don't you?
Nah, dog. Cool. Ninetales, though, no.
That's like the one Pokemon that if you have sex with it, like you'll turn into the vibrator and be like just going all crazy with electricity and shit. Yeah, fuck that.
I'm looking here in the chat, and it's saying that they're saying that Marcus wants to join in on the Hangout. Are you guys cool with having him join on in here?
No, fuck that motherfucker, man. No, I'm just joking. Absolutely, dude.
Can you guys send him the link?
Yeah, sure. I got this.
Up this
Are you gonna do it, Nick, or you want me to do it?
I'll do it. I like being the guy who does all the stuff because
All right.
I feel like, where is he at? There he is. Hey, Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones.
Marcus Jones.
Girl. Well, while we're waiting for Marcus to show up, we'll pull up. This, I think, is going to be the final news story that we talk about, and I didn't want to talk about it. I really didn't want to talk about it. Someone asked a question about it, so it's and frankly, it's too big to ignore, in my opinion.
Did some guy die from video games or?
No, but a lot of hopes and dreams did, specifically mine, because we've been holding out for that good video game movie, guys. You
fuck.
two, you folks in the chat, we've been looking forward to it. That one video game movie that's like, yes, they got it right. They got it right. And we had a new one come out this week, and how's it doing? Boom, 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 boom.
20%. Damn.
The critics are kicking this movie's asteroid. They're slamming this thing.
Okay, actually, no. I have some faith. I want to tell you something really quick, Patrick. If you look to the right.
Okay.
Oh, well, fuck.
Oh. I don't wanna. No.
67% audience score. That is something to fucking focus on. Because
sure.
No, because the critics, dude, think about this. Critics are always going there like, oh, that's not realistic. Well, I mean, dude, it's Ratchet and Clank. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be a fan of Ratchet and Clank to really appreciate the movie.
Man, I've seen so many movies on Rotten Tomatoes with like high audience scores that were just trash. Like Batman v Superman. I'm sorry if any of you guys in the chat like that movie. I'm not sorry, like personally, like I'm not sorry. I'm sorry that you liked it because that movie's terrible. It's so bad. And you have my sincere condolences that you can't see it yet, but you will. One day you'll watch it and you'll be like, wow, this is really, really bad.
I'm looking at the chat, and Krishna said, Wreck-It Ralph was good, in his opinion, and I think so too, but does that count as a video game movie?
I count that shit.
I do not include it as a video game movie because it's not really an adaptation.
No,
it's
true.
It's an original story.
Come on now, Grits. It had Dig Dug, it had Sonic, and it had
Who the fuck is Sonic?
Sonic, man. Sonic. I'm kidding.
I am not lowering my standards just because people repeatedly fail to meet them. I want to see a solid adaptation of an existing property that I like. So far, the only one that we've gotten that
to make you put your food back when you buy it. He's like, hey, this tastes like shit. I want a new fucking thing of chips and salsa. Motherfuckers, I'm hiding them.
This ain't no Child Left Behind. We're keeping those standards high. We're keeping them high.
Hi. What's going on, Marcus?
Oh, Marcus.
The minute you said No Child Left Behind, I started having flashbacks of me being in that shitty program. Fuck you, Bush.
Oh.
Fuck you,
sorry, man.
But no, I am kind of disappointed in the Ratchet and Clank's score on Rotten Tomatoes because I thought of all those video game adaptations, you at least think that could be like the low bar of it being a good, decent movie.
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, it was like one of those. It just seemed like of all the ones you've tried to adapt, this one seems like it would be the easiest to get right. I mean, you've got characters that are memorable and fun. You've got a lot of games to pull ideas from, and it's already like you've already got a style set for it too. Like the fact that you got like Insomniac, the company that makes these games, on board with this. I was like, okay, this looks like it's lining up all right. And then the trailers came out for it. And I remember even seeing the trailers, I was like, I don't know. It looks right in terms of just the animation. Like, it looks like Ratchet and Clank, but I'm not sure about some of these jokes. Like, I remember the games being funnier than this. But then I saw a few clips, and I played the newest game, and then it kind of rekindled my hope a little bit, because the game features some cutscenes from the movie. And I was like, this actually looks pretty funny. I think they got it right. And I guess that apparently they just took the best scenes from the movie for those games.
Yeah, I think the thing is with as far as Hollywood movies, and especially adaptations, video game adaptations, or any adaptation whatsoever, I take it with a huge grain of salt, because you have to think that this has to be marketed to everybody. It has to the dumbest, lowest common denominator to basically be broad enough for people to get and understand. And sometimes that works. Sometimes a miracle that does actually really do happen well. But as far as this goes, I guess based upon, and I have not seen it, I do want to see it. I do want to kind of get some reviews and stuff to get a conscious of what I'm going to experience. But from what it seems like, they could have just done what DreamWorks have done throughout most of their movies, basically make a movie, then have a spin-off or something on Nickelodeon, from what I'm sort of getting off of this.
And I guess with I think you're right. If you're going to do something like this, it needs to have some kind of broad appeal. I think you can either do it that way, or you can do it the other way, which is you make it cheap. And this movie actually had a tiny budget. I read somewhere that its budget was only $12 million, which is
Oh wow.
really low for a CG animated film. And apparently it shows.
Yeah.
Christine in the chat has said that all I'm concerned that Hardcore Henry is the best video game adaptation.
That movie sucks too. I
Oh
saw it.
wow, really?
Yes.
Come on, dude.
Man, I know Martin and Goodwin and Corey all like that movie a lot, and even I spoke to Goodwin like the following weekend after I saw it, and I was like, I'm sorry, dude, I just don't think this movie's very good. I think the YouTube short is better, honestly. The YouTube short film.
Holy shit.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I still think the best video game movie is Mortal Kombat. And
By default.
yeah, and Mortal Kombat's not even that good. It's okay. It's like okay, not bad.
Let me throw this in the ring. What about Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Doesn't count.
I consider that too, but it's kind of like what Wreck-It Ralph thing. It's got video game tropes, but
Yeah.
it's not really an adaptation.
It's derivative of video games. It's not an adaptation.
And it's the adaptation of a comic book more rather than an actual video game. So
Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
Now-
they put a bunch of homage to everything too. That doesn't really count, man. And another thing too is like that's really just like video game theme. Like you can say that shit about Pixels too. I don't count Pixels really.
Yeah, that doesn't count either.
yeah,
So nobody counts Pixels as a movie.
Yeah.
somebody has said Silent Hill in the chat. You know you lying.
You know what? That was creepy, man. I kind of liked that in the beginning. Then it got really fucking retarded halfway through. But
The best Silent Hill movie is Jacob's Closet, which inspired Silent Hill in the first place.
You mean Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah, thank you.
Jacob's Closet? He's got trench coats.
Okay,
Jacob's
so
stereo box.
let's make this count. That's 2 fuck-ups already. Not
Hands
for
up,
one for
dirty
Gertz and one for Ann. So me and
to address, I guess, back to Ratchet and Clank a little bit, because I do want to address Wesley's question here. He just wrote in, "Hey Patrick, how are you feeling about Ratchet and Clank not looking so hot at the box office?" I'm not gonna lie, dude. I saw it coming. I mean, I saw no marketing for this movie. I saw no advertising for it. So regardless of if the movie turned out to actually be good, I had a hunch it's like it's not going to be big or anything like that, and especially after seeing how big, Jungle Book is right now. I mean, that movie's probably going to be number 1 at the box office again this week, and I think it has a large part of the Jungle Book's audience is the same target audience for Ratchet and Clank, which is kids, and Jungle Book is getting rave reviews, and deserves it in my opinion. I think that movie's great. I still do want to see Ratchet and Clank for free. And I don't look. I mean, like, I love that property. I love that franchise. I'm not gonna let them make a sucker out of me. No, absolutely
don't do
not.
that. No, have some pride, Grits. Have some pride.
I might as well be buying DLC from EA if I'm going to go see this movie. No, get that weak sauce out of here, man.
Yeah, you should have bought Battlefield on day 1. That's what that shit is.
I canceled that reservation.
Exactly.
I made the cardinal mistake of actually buying Battlefield 4 on sale, and this is on the PC. I didn't know that you had to go to an extra server just to actually go online to play a multiplayer game. Like that to me is so fucking ridiculous. I played it one time and I have not played it again.
Let me see here real quick. I just want to make sure I check my tweets real quick because someone else did tweet a question. Let me see notifications.
Yeah, I noticed people don't really use the Twitter too much for questions, but yeah, push that shit, man.
I know. I put it on the Children of the Toast group for a few days, and like every day I was putting it out there because, truth be told, I wanted them to use Twitter so we could keep the questions pretty succinct. Because if you don't have that character limit in place, sometimes I see some of you in the chat with questions. You write novels, man. Like, come on, man. I watch TVs online. I watch shows online so I don't have to read. I'm like, no, get that out of here. Keep that character limit low. Krishna sent in a tweet. He was just saying Yo, Grits, you were right to avoid Ratchet and Clank. Your Spidey sense is strong. I guess he saw it. It was just like, I wasn't impressed.
See,
Or
my
you-
Spidey sense is not strong at all because, dude, I was excited for that shit, to be honest.
Mhm.
And I'm not even the best Ratchet and Clank fan, but like, dude, that looks fun, man. It looks like.
Do you think it's just y'all nostalgia? Let me ask y'all this. Y'all think it's just y'all nostalgia? Y'all couldn't see the flaws of it or not?
Oh, I haven't seen it, so.
No, I'm talking about like the game, maybe like the game, you playing the game.
Oh, I mean, I've been playing the games again, like for the past few days, and I think Up Your Arsenal is one of the funniest video games like ever made. It's not like it's not super adult, obviously. It's
Mhm.
child friendly, but it's not childish, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like Chuck Jones meets Star Wars. Like there's some really witty jokes in there. The funniest scene in Up Your Arsenal is when Captain Quark, quote unquote, dies, and they have a funeral for him aboard their spacecraft, aboard their ship, and Ratchet has to go up and give a eulogy about him, and he can't say anything nice about him. He can't just think of anything to say that's flattering at all. He's like, he was really tall, and had a unique fashion sense and a really big chin, kind of like with a butt shape. like just like that scene alone is like, that's funny. Like it's not like I was like, that's pretty.
Hey, do you so the humor of the new Ratchet and Clank game, do you think it compares to something like Up Your Arsenal? Like how was the humor for the new game?
It wasn't as strong, like right off the bat. I mean, there were still some funny moments, a few moments that did make me laugh. But I think Up Your Arsenal and Going Commando are both two of the two funniest Ratchet and Clank games. In fact, even like the ones on PS3, as I think they're great games. I think they're some of the best games on the PS3. Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time, excluding Into the Nexus and Full Frontal Assault and All for One. I think Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time are some of the best games on the PS3. And even they, while great games, I didn't feel they were quite as funny as the other ones on the PS2. But I felt like they weren't trying to be either. They were trying to be a little bit more dramatic with it, especially in a Crack in Time.
Hopefully that's not an indicator of the movie, because I don't. Is the same writers the one that wrote the game, the comedy for the game, doing the movie?
I heard they had him on there a little bit. I think his name is T.J. Futterman. I heard.
What kind of fucking name is that?
Sounds like a guy who should be writing Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah,
sounds,
there we go.
Sounds
Yep.
like a character. I heard that this could be wrong, but I remember reading that he was on there initially, and then he was like, "I'm out." Like the movie wasn't going the way he wanted it to go.
Ooh.
So I mean that might be true. It might not be. That's just what I read.
Hopefully that's like not like a Edgar. What was the guy that was doing Ant-Man and
Edgar
then he
Wright.
walked off? Yeah, Edgar Wright. Hopefully that's like not the same kind of deal like that. Well, go ahead,
Well,
Marcus.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard this on a Nerdist podcast a long time when Thomas Lennon, the guy, Officer Dangle from Reno 911, he was explaining how like the movie writing process works. The thing about movie writing process is that you're gonna write most of your stuff, but don't be surprised if you're gonna get fired from it and have a second team write over what you wrote, so that way they can kind of see if it's actually makes it much more for the audience members in what you originally wrote yourself. So I can sort of see guy whose last name sounds funny probably leaving that because he probably got most of his content or something probably got edited out,
Mhm.
Exactly.
So
That's a
what
bummer.
can you do? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's Hollywood for you.
Anyway, we got two questions, two tweets that came in, and I think they're both pretty good. J.C. Riley asks, thoughts on virtual reality and the upcoming Oculus and PSVR. Now, I think I've spoken to you about this, Anthony, and I didn't think you were there, Nick.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. I've done the Oculus Rift before, and I was like, okay, it's gimmicky, but it's kind of cool. And then whenever I hear that price point, I'm like, you are out of your mind. No, absolutely not. And it doesn't help that some of my favorite games are relatively simple games, like Ratchet and Clank, third-person action game. Pokemon, very simple turn-based RPG. Tetris. Can you imagine playing Tetris in VR?
That'd be fucking terrible.
What are you doing? Like just stacking egg crates with your hands? Like, no, nah.
It could work. It could work. Cause I wish 90s was here. He's part of the Midnight Chat Tech team as well. And his HTC Vive just came in the mail, and he's been loving it. Granted, he gives a shit you don't, Grits.
Yeah, yes. I know he's really into it.
Yeah.
He was there when we were talking about it amongst ourselves at one time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he was. He was.
And he was just like, man.
I know, like, when you read the price on it too, and 90's like, yeah, I just spent that. Fuck.
It was like, why you hurt me so bad, Grits? Why you hurt me so bad?
Yeah, you'll see. He's gonna get over that gimmick because that's what I see it as.
Damn.
It really is though. It really is. Like, even if it's entertaining, it's still a gimmick, dude. That shit ain't gonna be around fucking like 2 years from now. If it is, it's gonna be a lot cheaper, and it's gonna be all fucked up. Like, happens every time with the new gimmicks, man. But what do you think, Marcus?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, cut to 90s in a corner holding his headset, saying, "You guys should understand. The future's now. You don't get it. You guys don't get it. Fuck you guys, man."
90s. Look up future in the dictionary, and I guarantee you the definition isn't now.
Oh, sorry, 90s.
Mic drop. Poof. No, I'm messing with you, man.
But tell you, but
Wow.
my thing about the VR thing is that it feels like it's something that I feel like this would be something if we had a really good game and somebody sort of mentioned this would look great in VR, like say the new Mirror's Edge coming out. Though it'd be easy, a great VR game. Doom, probably so. Like, did you guys see the new Outlast gameplay?
Yes.
Okay. I would totally see that in VR. I would totally want to experience that in VR. No, actually, forget that. That's too much white people shit for me to experience that
one. All right.
Yeah. Well, it seemed, did y'all guys hear about? I can't remember his name. I think his name is John Romero. I can't remember the games he's been working on, but it's just big. He's a big mogul in the video game industry, and apparently he's trying to get like this VR first-person shooter off the ground with Kickstarter, and apparently it's supposed to use your memories, like bad and good, to project your obstacles in the VR. I have no idea how the fuck this is supposed to work, but
like memories, like in the game.
What?
Like,
yeah, like it project. I don't know how he's gonna do this, but apparently it's supposed to project your memories onto the VR system. Or like, say if you're scared of spiders, I guess it projects that to the VR, and I guess you kill spiders and stuff.
That's
fuck
good.
that.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Terrible idea. One, it doesn't sound possible, and two, it just sounds like a bad idea.
You're supposed to like, get needles and stick them into your fucking brain on the side of your
no
head.
idea. Like I was thinking like the Matrix and shit. Like they jack your ass into the Matrix. It's like, I don't know.
When you're done playing a game, you gotta pull all these tubes from your nipples and shit, all butt naked in some fucking pod.
Like one of my greatest fears, like way back, like in grade school and high school, I used to be really overweight. I used to be like about just under like 270 pounds, and I ended up losing like about 90 pounds in college, and I'm very pleased with myself that I've been able to keep that off. One of my greatest fears, I've had nightmares about this, is where I wake up and I'm fat again, and it's awful. Can you just imagine playing a video game around that? What am I going to be doing? Just dodging fat versions of myself? No, absolutely.
I would love that as a game.
Like, that'd be awful. That'd be awful. Just running around avoiding. I mean, it wouldn't be hard because I could outrun them pretty easily.
Wait, Gritch, your memories would be like Outlast 2. It'd be like you'd be running from a naked version of your fat version.
Nah, man. I don't want it. No. Get rid of it. No.
One of us.
You know you want these cheese fries. I do, but get away from me.
I'm gonna be running away from Corey Coleman dressed as Prince. Like, get away!
Come back, you white bitch. Give me that chum-chum.
All right, I
that's
think we've
fucked
got
up, dude.
one last question. I think one last question for the night because we've been going on for almost an hour here.
Already? Wow.
Minutes.
Yeah, it's been flying by fast. This comes from Danny Eli on Twitter. He says, "P. Gertz, so would you ever consider playing Dark Souls 3? No, absolutely not.
Man.
No, never again."
People, high score. Go back, watch that shit in the loop, because that's all you're gonna get.
We're not playing that game again, ever, 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 ever. I hate that game. Goodwin hates that game, and like one of the reasons I'm so vehement about hating that game so much, besides the fact that I just like to be overdramatic for kicks and giggles, is I know there are a lot of people that don't like that game. I know they're out there. I've spoken to them. I've met them. They're just like, I don't get it. Apparently, like, some people just love to lose, I guess. Because even the people that are really good at that game, they still die dozens upon dozens of times. And I just don't understand the appeal. And I've played really hard games before and beaten really hard games before, like Alien Hominid, Batman on the original Nintendo. That game's really hard, but it's really fun, and it's really addictive. But it also seems fair when you're playing it. You don't just get like shanked by some dude who you couldn't see from behind.
That's true, yeah. And those fucking boss fights where you have no fucking idea how you're gonna beat this boss, they just pop out of nowhere. You're just there with this fucking thing.
I sort of think that's what the appeal of these games are. It kind of shuts up all the people that bitch about games not being tough enough and just being thrown into the ether of it and says like, okay, here's a sword. Go ahead and dodge roll and go. That's it. Mm-hmm. And some people like that, and that's cool with that. I don't think I actually remember hearing a lot of people complain so much about the Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Demon Souls games as much as far as I know, honestly.
You're about to say, I haven't heard anyone complain as much as you have.
That's what I was going to go into right now, actually.
No, to be fair, Grits, watching you and Corey playing Dark Souls 3 is like how I reacted when I'm trying to teach my dad how to play with a DVR. Like, that's pretty on point.
Yeah, it can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. I remember I had to teach my mom how to use the remote to change it from like DVR to satellite to DVD and all that. And I got to the point where I threatened to draw on the remote, and then that was what got her to stop. It's like, Mom, you only need one button. I'm going to get a Sharpie, and I'm going to color this button red so you know which one is best.
It's fucking John Madden a remote.
Play button. This is how you play the channel button.
Okay, so here's a red one right here. Here's a power button. Boom, you hit that. Then you hit these other buttons right here. This is the volume, and this is the button to actually, change the channel too. Now, you don't have to press the TV unless you need to press the TV, okay? But still, don't press it in the first place. Boom.
Like, you had to add the boom in there, like, boom, and then you press the button.
I get where you're coming from, Grits. I have yet to play one of those games. But,
is it calling him Grits, by the way? God damn it.
I know, right?
Jesus Christ.
What should I call him?
Call him Patrick or Gertz.
My name?
Oh, it's Gertz. I thought that shit was Grits, though.
You sicken me.
I'm sorry. I thought that shit was Grits like the breakfast. I'm sorry the whole time. Okay, Gert. There we go.
I watched this guy in a Midnight Chat Attack multiple times. I'm kind of used to it, so this is just pretty much normal to me.
I'm so glad like fancy or something. Like, just Nick. Like, how can you fuck that up? Oh, hey, Dick.
I'm sorry. Okay, I have a point. No, but Patrick, you have a point with the game. I haven't taken a crack at it yet myself, but I always liked the atmosphere of Dark Souls from a game design perspective, like as me being an inspiring game developer, because those games remind me so much of Dante's Inferno, which is one of my favorite legends ever. So it's like the atmosphere, they nail it. So on that, bravo to them.
I mean, they look pretty if you like boring drab colors, but sure, whatever.
Also, art student here, and I'm the same thing with Ant on this. Like, I have there's an art book that I got from a Facebook group, and I looked through the Bloodborne art book, and it's like it's absolutely amazing. The character designs are great. The atmosphere is beautiful. In fact, every time I go see somebody playing on a PS4, I'm constantly amazed by it because it's very, very well done, regardless on how hard or how ugly the game looks. On some, sometimes they need to put a little bit of, what is it called? I was gonna say eyeliner for some reason, but no. Let's say like some pastels or something in the game, but regardless of it still looks amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I was actually a fan of Bloodborne, and I still am. It is fucking hard, and I'll never beat that game because I don't give a fuck that much to beat it. But the thing is, when you guys talk about the design and look, when you guys say it's beautiful, it does. If you go like on their website and get like the picture of it or whatever, like the actual like artwork. But when you're playing a game, that shit looks like trash coming after you. Like it's like Transformers 2. We don't know who the fucking robots are. Like
I'm with Nick on this, yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Probably one of the better looking games on the PS4, but that's not saying a whole lot right now because everything on PS4 has been ported from PS3.
No, like if you break it down, it looks good. Like look at the weapon animations for Bloodborne, the creature animations, and then and it's just this one design aspect. I don't know what level it was on, but it was like these fat crows screaming in pain and like writhing on the floor. I was just like, that's from a design angle, that's fucking genius.
Yeah, and not to mention like the textures on there are really nicely detailed. On the first level, when you kind of see like that crowd in that like bonfire, and you see like the water effects on there, it just looks amazing. Again, concepts like game design, BFA and game art design. I'm sorry if I'm actually going too nerdy on this. It's just like it just blows me away kind of seeing that.
Yeah, exactly. Marcus, me and you get it. These idiots don't. No, I'm kidding.
All these artsy motherfuckers.
Whatever, man. Yeah. Hope you trip off that soapbox you're standing on. Hope you slip on it.
I have not played Dark Souls 3, by the way, and I do not fucking plan on that shit until it's $20. So, and it will be by next year.
Well, that was going to be the last question, but I think we got one more good one. And I'd like to give these guys a little bit more show. It's free, so it's the least we can do. Hovig, he's in the chat as well. He's been chiming in the chat. He said, tweeted at us, what are your thoughts on that unneeded Angry Birds movie coming out? It seems horrid to me. This is him saying this.
Josh Gad beat in that movie is fucking... Yeah, just that movie's gonna suck, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and it's like you're like 8 years too late. Like,
yeah, man.
It's like they could have made Angry Birds. Honestly, if they made like Angry Birds like a Flash cartoon series, something like a Homestar Runner or Joe cartoon, like way back in the day, I think it would have been great actually. Because I could see something like that translating really well to like really short, violent shorts, like Happy Tree Friends. If they did something like that with Angry Birds, I could see it being really cool. But
that's a weird jump.
Well, it makes a little bit of sense. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, am I the only one who forgot Angry Birds existed?
No.
2014, 2015?
I forgot.
Like, that shit just disappeared. Flappy Bird beat the fuck off Angry Bird.
I want that Plants vs. Zombies movie, man.
There we go.
Yeah, that sounds better.
No, we got 3 attempts at the video game movie, though. We got Angry Birds, Sly Cooper, I heard somebody say in the chat, and then Warcraft. So one of those got a hit just by process of elimination.
My guess is that Angry Birds will actually do obviously better than Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Warcraft will just get an insane amount of mixed reviews, and by the second week it'll go. If it's not at number 4, it'll probably be at number 7 on the second week.
Man, I have no optimistic hopes for Warcraft.
Yeah.
That movie, I think, is going to be garbage and a half.
I was laughing at that trailer, dude.
Yeah, it's like even I know like the latest trailer they had like dubstep music in it.
Oh God, like, did they?
Yeah, and it's like
wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you haven't seen that? Got Skrillex doing Warcraft.
Was it really Skrillex?
I don't think it was Skrillex, but it was dubstep.
Okay, fuck.
Okay, okay, we got a movie with orcs, magic, fucking dragons, or whatever they're called. How do we appeal this to the kids? Hey, how about we have like music that sounds like 2 robots fucking? That's why you get the raise.
What kind of music would the orcs play on their war drums as they go into battle? Well, obviously it'd be like.
If you guys think about the kayfabe of the movie, there's nothing technological about that whole fucking movie. There's orcs fighting with fucking wooden axes and shit. Like, how does that mix with dubstep?
When I seen the first trailer they released, I was like, this looks like a very good ZBrush portfolio.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if this was like a short film I saw on YouTube that some dude just like made like in his free time, I'd be like, that's really impressive. Give that guy a bigger property and like some real like production talent. But seeing that thing's gonna be in theaters, I'm like, ooh. No, and I could be wrong about this, but it seems like this is a little too late too. Like I know Warcraft, it's still big, but I don't think it's as big as it was, unless I'm mistaken.
No, I think you're on the right cusp or with that, because like a lot of games that's now popular are the ones that they play at those conventions. That's like live on ESPN and shit like that, like the MOBAs and stuff like that. So I don't think it's at the exact same height as it was. But what'd you say, Marcus?
Heroes of the Storm, Dota, and League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends. Yeah, those type of games. So I think you're right.
I'm just looking at this in the chat. Someone posted it. Let me see if I can screen share this real quick. If my computer stops being slow. Yeah, says says Angry Birds movie isn't needed. Says Plants vs. and also says Plants vs. Zombie.
Mooney Y, dude, that guy is the meme master. He just goes around just talking shit.
I mean, I was joking, but at the same time, I'm like, no, I'd see it.
I want to see that shit, man.
I would totally. If you would make Plants vs Zombies in the form of Saving Private Ryan, I would be the first one to basically buy a ticket and get second row seats to see it because I can't see shit in the front row.
Yeah, I mean,
can you imagine a fucked up beginning like that, like a plant on the floor, like, tell my mom. And like there's just seed dirt just coming out of his fucking stomach like that.
Damn it.
You tell me you guys are looking forward to that Seth Rogen Sausage Fest movie, and you wouldn't want to see Plants vs. Zombies? Nah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No.
Hey,
Pretty much the same thing.
No, but what do you think about that though? Sausage Party. You want to see that, Patrick, or are you kind of like, oh, that's gonna suck too?
It's not video game related, so I mean, I don't want
that's
to.
true.
I don't want to go into too much detail. Actually, the trailer made me laugh. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. If it gets like all right reviews, I'll definitely check it out because the trailer did make me laugh. I'm just thinking, like, if the Saving Private Ryan scene in that trailer cracked me up. You have that chicken noodle soup can. That killed me. I was like, that's hilarious.
More questions on Twitter is one thing I do want to bring that up, but I'll wait.
Oh, okay. I think that's about it. So, I think that's it for Twitter questions. I think we're ready to roll out soon. What did you want to mention?
Since PAX East just happened this week, I wanted to see if any games that y'all was seeing on PAX East on the floor that y'all was curious about. Because I have two.
Okay, what were your two? I have not been following PAX.
Of course, Cuphead, because fucking Cuphead. Oh my god. Oh yes, Marcus, check out the footage of it. They just released some footage about the new boss battles. They just showed one new boss battles, and they added platforming. Yes.
I haven't seen the newest gameplay footage, but I just remember watching a preview like 2 months ago, and that game is fucking hard. Like, if you thought Dark Souls was basically gonna drive you up the wall, I cannot wait till you guys play Grits. I cannot wait till you and Corey play this game. So the next thing we see is a TV go through the front door at GT Studios.
No, for real. But it's like, imagine Mega Man gameplay with Felix the Cat art style. It's just gonna be amazing. And another one that had
you showed me that.
Yes, I did. I showed you.
That does look awesome. That
oh
looks
my
great.
god! If that art style was a girl, I would fuck it. That's pretty much what it is. But the other one that was very interesting, and I'm glad that more game developers are taking that evolved type of gameplay style more further. It was this game called Death by Daylight, and it's practically 4 other players play as these generic teenagers, the muscle-bound guy, the ditzy teenager, and one of them plays as the killer, and I guess the killer has to hunt down the other teenagers, and the other teenagers have to like band together to take down this psychopath. And I was like, that's a really cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So
that's pretty much
like
it.
Is Scooby-Doo mixed with Friday the 13th?
Which is funny too, because there also is a Freddy 13th game that they showed on the show floor too, which also looks pretty cool. Which and guess who's the head consulting of the game?
Adam Sessler.
Yes, I'm like, yes, I'm behind this. So that's pretty much it. Those just 2 games. It was another one, but I can't remember the name right now. But Patrick, I definitely say look up PAX East stuff because there was a lot of interesting games there.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Goodwin and I will be looking into it soon. Maybe when he gets back. If you're watching this, Goodwin, if you want to talk about that, because it sounds interesting.
He's too high to even click on the website.
Man, I'm flying right now. Man, your plane landed like 4 hours ago. I know, I'm still flying. I think that's gonna be it for the stream today, folks. But before we go, I want to reiterate, I'm going to get on PS4. I'm going to start a party chat there. So if you guys who are listening have PlayStation 4 and you want to get in the chat room there, by all means, hop on in so we can continue to talk. Just because I don't have access to Twitch, I don't, at least not the high score one that Corey started. And we do still plan on doing that on a regular basis. We just didn't do it this week because of the Seattle trip, but it's currently, the plan is do it every Thursday night, and Goodwin will always shoot out a tweet and stuff and let you guys know when we're getting ready to do that. So yeah, look for us on PS4 in a few minutes, but before we go, I'm going to drop a line for these guys who are in the call right now, the Midnight Chat Attack. If you guys haven't already listened to these guys before, I mean, you've heard them right now. They're great. They're tons of
we're
fun.
good people.
The fun on the bun. And
We have good taste in video games.
What the fuck? Fun on the bun? What the hell?
and they do a Google Hangout 7:30 Saturday night. I don't know why. Why do you guys call it the Midnight Chat Attack when it's at 7:30? I know you've been
let me
asked this
change it
many times.
Because reasons.
Listen right now, people, help me, because Marcus, or no, not Marcus. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at you, man. Anthony and the whole Midnight Chat Attack disagree with me, but please, Late Night Chat Attack should be the name.
No, it
Yeah.
sounds
Makes
fucking
more
retarded.
sense.
We already have shirts. We can't change it.
Hey, make some new shirts and sell those old ones as vintage.
Or you can do what they do in the NFL almost all the time. Just sell them to Ethiopian kids and just pretend that that team won.
Nah, don't do that. Vintage. I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah, fuck charity. Am I right, folks?
Charity, absolutely.
We don't- but yeah, the 7:30 tomorrow night. You guys, that's what your plan is right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why we keep it like the Midnight Chat Attack really is because we usually pass on past midnight. So it's like, if you guys are late, we're going all fucking night. So you'll be in there. We'll be on.
Okay, cool.
Mind if I plug anything?
Go for it, dude.
Hi, this is Marcus here from Music Minutes with Marcus, the thing that still keeps continuing. I'm still doing a podcast. I got it on SoundCloud now. I basically have a rotating number of guests that comes on here, and I talk about like the music that I selected for this week, and we kind of get into discussion of it. This week we recently did a Prince themed episode because obviously that's what happened. I'm keeping it low key because I don't want to get flagged. So please listen to it. Don't promote it, but promote my other episodes. I know it's weird, but that's how it is. So
Wow.
yeah. Look, Prince's stuff is so like tight-knit, copyrighted to the point where I'm just kind of literally scared that I might get flagged for it, and that's gonna be my whole show. My whole weekend's been pissed away because somebody got pissed if it had it. So
Everyone wants to get their mitts on Bat Dance.
But if you guys want to be a rotated guest on the show, though, make sure to send him a message and be like, "Can I talk about music with you?" And then he'll hit you up and the whole thing.
Grit, somebody said, what was the name of the PSN group that you're going to set up? So they can
I haven't thought of that yet. I guess I'll call it the low score. It's just the same thing as here. Yeah, but look for me on PS4. My username on there's pgertz. I should pop right up if you search for me. But yeah, I'll create a group there. So if I have a group created and I'll make the party open, you should just be able to join it if you have me as a friend. If you add me as a friend on there. Now I think we can only have 10 people in there, which is lame. It's a bummer.
Balls.
Yeah. It's Sony. Come on, man. Come on. It's 2016.
Oh, before I forget, really quick, because I see that we're about to end. Where are you gonna be playing, by the way, tonight? Just to let the people know.
I'm probably gonna be playing The Division, I think, because that just seems like it's the most popular game right now. But I also have Mortal Kombat if more people want to do that. So it's gonna be between those two. I'm up.
No
for
Rocket League?
No Rocket League. I haven't played Rocket League before. Sorry. Sorry, man. I know it's one of those games I need to try. It's one of those games I need to get in on. But I think that's about it. So before we go, you guys dropped your shout outs. We got what you need out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're good.
You can find actual episodes of The High Score, not these like low budget shoestring ones.
I know. Where's the Flintstones background? God damn it!
Yeah, look at that. Look at that art back there. Woo boy. Beige. You can find those on the website you're on right now, doubletoasted.com. We stream them every Friday night, 7:30 p.m., unless otherwise noted. You can reach out to both me and Corey Goodwin on Facebook and on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, Patrick Gertz, @pgertz. You can find me on doubletoasted.com, username pgertz. Facebook, like I said, Patrick Gertz. And there's the Double Toasted PSN gaming community. Search for that on PSN, or if you search for me on there, if you have me as a friend, you should be able to see that as the communities that I'm a part of. And that's really taken off. The creator of it, his PSN name I think is Whiskey Wolf. He like when he first told us about it, I think there was maybe 50 members in it, but now there's almost 200. It's really shot up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I see guys like Toasties and stuff like that putting the games that they're playing right then and there and getting people to join. So it's another cool way that we can come together in the circle of life, or lack of life, because we're playing video games and we're socially awkward.
Great job.
So I think that's it for tonight. Everyone, Anthony, Marcus, Nick, thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you, Dirty
Thank you for inviting me, man.
Made this a lot more bearable for the people watching. We are done here, so good night, everybody, and stay toasty.
Jazz hands.
Bye, everybody.